Hello, we're live. We're live. 2 minutes late, but that's okay. That's okay. It's always okay. Hope everyone's well. Whoever's coming in tonight, come on in. Help yourself to nibbles. I'm just getting you all up on my iPad. Hello, Caroline. I hope you're well. I hope you had a nice day. 3 people here already. Hello, hello, hello. And the 4th one's coming in. Another hello to you and a hello to everyone else that joins. First Facebook Live of the week. So, and the only one this week so far. But it is really nice to have your company. I'm a little tired tonight, but everything is fine. Little Millie wasn't very well last night, so we were up all night with her, but she's okay. She's been to the vet. She's had everything she needs. She's got a little pancreatitis, so it's playing up a little bit, but she's okay. She's sleeping now, so all's good, and hopefully I'll get some sleep later on. But it is lovely to have everyone's company. So hello to Nikki, hello to Anna. We've got a great evening lined up. We've got 2 special guests on the show. We're going to get Lou Collins on in a moment's time, but we've also got Dawn Mcafie coming on as well, and we've got some discount codes for you, and we've got some giveaways as well, including the final 2 tickets to give away for the NEC, the show that runs from the 13th of March all the way through until the 16th. So if you want to, that's just joined. If you want to win tickets to go for a day of your choice, you get 2 tickets. Then all you need to do is put NEC in the comments, and I shall run through those later on tomorrow. This will be repeated, so we'd like to give a chance for people who watch this on repeat to win. So just put NEC in the comments. We've already had 2 winners from previous lives. We've got our final set of tickets. I've also got a discount code, Janice30, and that will get you 30% off tickets. That's if you want to come along to the craft show, which runs from the 13th of March, I nearly said December, all the way through until the 16th. So NEC in the comments if you want to win, and I'll keep mentioning that as we go along. Right, okay, let's get our first guest on. They're already there in the waiting room. Let's just approve and send that invitation. And our lovely Lou Collins, like University Challenge underneath me just there, and I'll go on top. Do you remember University Challenge still runs now, doesn't it? There she is.
Hey.
This was easy tonight.
It was nice and quick.
It was nice and quick. Normally we're here for like 10 minutes going, no, you press this, no, you press that, no, you press this.
I'm used to this.
How are you, Lou?
I'm very well, thank you. Are you?
Yeah, it's lovely to see you. I've not seen you for ages.
It's been ages. Yeah. It has been ages. I mean, I didn't do many TV shows for a while, and then obviously I'm not going to be doing now with you for a little while, so that's really sad. So yeah, I haven't seen you it's been months.
It certainly has. Were you looking well?
Yes, very well, thank you. And you? I mean, sorry about Millie. That's what it's sad.
Yeah, I know. She's okay though. She's it was just one of those nights where they're just up all night. You just sit there worrying, and then we didn't get any sleep, but she went to the vet today. We weren't going to take her, but then she wasn't quite right this morning, but she's a lot better tonight, bless her. Yeah. Of course, you've got lots of animals, haven't you?
Lots of them. We've got 3 dogs in the house. My camera keeps slowly going down, so I'm doing this.
So it's mine.
Stay up. Yes, we've got 3 dogs. Yep. I've got a 12-year-old Jack Russell cross with a Labrador. Very odd one. He's definitely showing his age now. He's pretending he can't hear me when I say anything. I'm sure he can. If I drop a bit of food, he can hear. We've got Rescue, who's now about, I think, 4 or 5. Yes. He is now. He's from Spain. Let me just hold this up.
Mine's doing the same thing, I think I think we might have the same stand. There you go. Everything's good. Yeah. Everything's good.
And then we've got Bryson, new addition. So he is a 6-month-old golden retriever. Aww. He's absolutely adorable. A pain in the bum, but yeah, he's lovely. So we've got dogs everywhere, and we have got a cat. I can't miss Maisie the cat. She's very tolerant of all the dogs.
And are the dogs tolerant of Maisie?
They're very good. Bryson started wanting to play with her. Yes. So like chase around the house. But to be honest, if they get nose to nose, he sniffs. She just lays there and purrs. So nothing happens.
That's
just
good.
chase there, and then that's it, really.
That's very good. Yeah. So you do have a busy life, don't you? Because you've got 2 children.
They're hardly children anymore.
How old are they?
16 and 19, so nearly 17 and 20.
No
And
way.
my daughter's the oldest, and her boyfriend lives with us as well. So we've
Gosh.
always got 3 teenagers in the house. Well, so I suppose Ben's 20, so he's not quite a
Yeah.
teenager anymore.
Well,
And then my son has 3 teenage stroke young adult children as well that visit
oh my,
all the time.
oh my days.
So busy.
So a busy life.
Yeah.
So how do you fit the craft in? I can see you're in your craft room
I'm
and it looks amazing.
in here. I'm just going to pop. Do you know what? I've just found this is about the right height, I think, to
Yeah.
pop under there.
There you go.
Hold that up.
Great.
Yes, so I've got my craft room. We've just renovated
Yeah.
a house, and one of the essentials was a craft room. Didn't have rooms already in the house, so we've converted the garage. So this is most of a garage space. It's just not as wide because we needed a walkway down the end, front to back, to get through the house still. So yeah, this is my craft room, and I hide in here all day. Pretty much, and then sometimes the evenings as well. So
and what's your job? For anyone that doesn't know, you are a designer. You design your own products. You're a very talented crafter. Always loved watching you and your designs. But what would you say is your, well, it's not a 9 to 5 job, is it really? But what's your daytime job?
Yes and no. Yes, so I work for Craft Stash. So I am employed by them full time. That encapsulates designing products. So I've got my textures range. That's a sneak peek. That's not actually out till next week.
Oh no, we need to look at that again.
Yeah. So that's actually not my favourite bit of the clothes. I tell you what, I'll show you some bits. I shouldn't be doing this. Some bits that I did that in a reel today, so you can see that this is all parts of the new collection. That's a new item.
That's nice.
Yeah. So we've got some new bits launching on next Friday. But yeah, so Textures is my brand that I've been doing for about, I think it's 3 years now.
Yeah.
Amazingly, I don't know where that time's gone. So 1 day a week as such I work on Textures. 4 days a week I work on promotional video and content for Craft Stash. That includes doing their live videos. So Facebook lives, YouTube lives, working on videos for their channel as well. Obviously there's a lot of planning TV shows and such too. So whenever we do have shopping TV shows with any of our brands, because we also have Made to Surprise with Sam Calcott, Simply Made Crafts with Helen Griffin, It's Just Paper with Justine Hovey. There's loads and loads of brands that probably people will know of the brands but don't realise they fall under the Craft Stash umbrella. So I have to plan the TV shows and do all the admin side of it as well.
When you say TV shows, do you mean like on Hobby Maker?
Yes. So I was creating craft obviously, and now Hobby Maker. So yeah, so plan all those as well. Sometimes demonstrate, sometimes don't. Depends if the designer's happy to go and do the demoing. If not, it'll be me that jumps in the car and goes off to.
So you're busy. You're really busy. Do you ever get time to relax yourself?
Do you know what? Yes, because I find my job relaxing. I love crafting. So when I'm doing any sort of crafting, preparing demos, doing live videos, that is my relaxing. So my job doesn't feel like a job.
Yes.
It's great. It's perfect.
It is. How did you get into crafting though? You know, what brought you into this avenue?
Oh, I love this question because so way back, so I've always been arty, art and design, A levels, GCSEs, A levels. When I was pregnant with my daughter, I was actually made redundant. I was about 12 weeks pregnant when I just told my work because I was quite poorly with it, and they made me redundant that week.
Not because you were pregnant.
Apparently not, but who knows? It was a long time ago. Like I say, she's 19.
Wow.
I didn't go any further. I didn't take it any further because I was feeling pretty rotten and glad to have the time at home. Yeah. But I've not long been married, and when I got married, that was my first husband. When I got married, I made my wedding invitations. Me and my mum made wedding invitations, and we had card blanks, mulberry paper, these little pre-made wedding toppers, peel off stickers with like invitation and all this on. I don't know if there was anything else on there, maybe a bit of ribbon. There was some ribbon in there, and I kept all these supplies when we'd finished making the invitations in a carrier bag. And when I was doing the nesting thing that people do when they're pregnant and cleaning the house, I found this carrier bag and I thought, oh, it's my Auntie Barbie's birthday coming up. I'll see if I can make her a card. I was so bored. I was a typical bored housewife, pregnant, had no work. So I did. I made a card and I loved it. And then I made another one for no reason. Didn't have any, and I used up all of those supplies. And I happened to be in, I happened to be in the local supermarket one day, and I nearly passed out. Because I had the morning sickness and everything. I was quite, and they sat me down next to the magazine stand, and I went, "Oh, there's a card making magazine there, right next to me." And it was almost like I didn't realise there was even a magazine on these things, on paper craft. I just thought it was something that I decided to do on my own. Sorry, my son's just text me, and it's right in front of your face. He's only in the next room. So I picked up, before I left the shop and stumbled home, I did pick up one of these magazines, and that was it. I was hooked. I then found a scrapbook magazine. I was on holiday in a caravan, a wet September caravan holiday. This was 3 years later, because my son was then 6 months old. And I went to the shop to try and see if I could get a card making magazine. I was well and truly into it by then. And they only had the scrapbook magazine, which coincidentally was a magazine that's published by the company that Craftstash are with. Practically. Didn't obviously know that years later I'd be working for the company. So I discovered scrapbooking, and I went home. I did have some 12 by 12 paper. I had lots of holiday photos from my wet caravan holiday. So I did a few scrapbook pages, and I sent a photo off, or by email, into the letters page of this scrapbook magazine, and they published it. And it was like, oh my God, I've been published. And then what did I do? I think I sent a few in for letters pages, and they kept being published. And then they had a call out. It was like Scrapbooker of the Year competition, maybe a few months, a year later. And I entered it, and I got runner up. So that was then a year design team position, as well as this huge bundle of products. And that was it. Like from there on, I then got asked to contribute to other magazines. The Do Crafts magazine was one that must have seen me in these magazines and asked me to contribute to them. That went on to in-store demonstrations for Do Crafts in shops like The Range, and we've got some department stores near here I used to go to on weekends. And then Do Crafts needed me or asked me if I would do a screen test at Create and Craft for them to be the stand-in for when either Sheila Halliwell or Katie Skilton couldn't make the show. So I was only ever going to be a standby, and I went along and I did the screen test, and I passed, and it was fine. About a year later, I'd still not been called up for anything.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
But that's shopping TV. They get you in, they give you, and then they don't call you for like a year, but then they
all of a sudden. So it was actually not for Do Crafts. It was the first time I ever went on. Why was it for them? It was Fizzy something. It was like CD-ROMs. I can't remember who. Fizzy something. It was like
if anyone out there can remember, I know we've got quite a few crafters watching. We've got Lou Sims is watching, Anthony's watching, Sharon's watching, Glynis is watching, Gillian, Sally Ann. So if anybody knows, Dizzy, it rings a bell.
Dizzy. And I had Dawn Bibby and Stephanie Waitman were my presenters, so I did some CD-ROM crafting for them. I can't remember how that came about, to be honest. I think it was something to do with my screen test. They realised I was somebody who had passed but not been used. And then I was talking to the people at Webster's Pages a little while later, and they said they need a demonstrator. They were the owner was coming over to the UK. That was really good, with Leah Griffith as well. They did like a collaboration. So Brandon and Leah came over, and I spent the week with them, and I demonstrated for them, and it just went from there. Then I was getting asked by other companies, and so
it really charged forward. But every time you took a step forward, something happened. So it must have felt really good. Was there any time, within that things slowed down slightly, or you hit like a stumbling block at all?
I don't know how much I can say, because I never want to badmouth anyone in the company, in the industry, because I never would. I love everybody, and I'm grateful for all my experiences. But I found when I was in the latter years of working with Tattered Lace, which I was probably 4 or 5 years in, work demonstrating with them maybe. And it became tough because there were so many demonstrators, and I found it got very competitive, yes, between the demonstrators. And myself, Carly Duff and Corinne Robinson are all good friends. I mean, me and Corinne were actually even talking today, but we were in effect supposed to be competing for hours with each other, and we didn't like that. So
yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, so I stepped away from that, and I stepped back a bit. I think all three of us, to be honest, wanted to step back. We didn't want that to affect our friendship, so we all sort of eased up a bit. And I had started doing brush lettering. So and I did my 100 days of brush lettering. I can't even remember if I finished that or not. I'm not sure. But Practical Publishing wanted to start doing a lettering magazine alongside all their other titles. So they have Simply Cut and Papercraft, Creative Stamping, Die Cutting Essentials. They've got lots. And they decided to do a lettering one, and they asked me if I would pop up to Stockport to their office and just give them some advice, just like what they call an expert opinion. In my opinion, I wasn't an expert because I'd only been doing it really 6 months. But I had launched my lettering products under iHub brand, the company. So in their eyes, I was one of the only UK sort of hand letterers. So I went up there and I gave them some advice, and the following day they asked me if I would be interested in being the magazine editor. Wow. So which was a huge shock. I'd never done anything like that in my life. Well, it was commissioning editor, but they weren't, for whatever reason, they weren't allowed to call me the editor, but effectively I was commissioning editor. I did the whole thing, and I just had someone look over it before it went off to print.
And how was that?
It was brilliant. I loved it. It was so different. I did a lot of it from home, so that meant I could really ease back on the demonstrating TV. I could stay at home and do a lot of that work. Loved it. That was 3 days a week. Demonstrating 2 days a week. I then came away from Tattered Lace completely, and I demonstrated occasionally for Craft Stash instead, but stuck mostly with the editing. And then sadly, after 13 months, because we were just about to print issue 13, COVID hit, and a lot of the magazine titles had to go because people were not going to the shops to buy the magazines.
This is true. This is true. And how were you affected by all of that?
Yeah, well, actually, I wasn't. I was extremely fortunate. I think throughout my whole craft career, I can just say I've had fortune after fortune after fortune, and I know I've been extremely lucky with the opportunities I've had. But I had the same day as we had the big company Zoom call to say, right, these titles are going to be going. Whatever issue you're working on now will be the last. Blah blah blah. It was a huge shock to everybody.
Yeah,
but I had a call from the lady in the e-commerce side, and she called me immediately after the meeting and said, don't worry, we want you 5 days a week working on what I'm doing now, basically. So the 3 days that I was losing with the magazine, almost immediately, I had a few more weeks to work on it. She was then going to take me on 5 days a week to do this demonstrating and creating content and things. So so lucky.
And I guess that's something you love doing, because you do it a lot. There's a lot of content out there. So you've got content on YouTube. Do you do Instagram?
YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest. I haven't got to grips with Twitter. I don't think. I don't know if many crafters do though.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, since it's turned into X, it's kind of a bit of a strange place to go. You know, not wishing to get into politics or anything.
My husband's on it all the time for sports and things.
Yeah, for things like that, it's great. For things like that, it's great. What about TikTok? Have you ventured onto that yet?
Yes. Annoyingly though, really annoyingly, and I had a viral video a few years, I want to say 3 or 4 years ago on TikTok.
And is this the trainer one? Okay.
And that's actually been the bane of my life. I nearly came off TikTok because it was some of the comments were so upsetting. It was when my rescue dog was new and he'd chewed a trainer. So for anyone who doesn't know, a lot of people won't. He chewed one of my daughter's brand new expensive trainers. She saved up and bought herself. So I, being crafty, I set to fix them. Now, this was all for the content. I wasn't going to make her wear them. I did buy her another pair, but the trainer, it looked great, but I wouldn't expect her to go out the house wearing it. It was quite fancy with purple glitter and all sorts on it. But it was just a fun video to make. But the comments about my dog and what I should do to him for how I should punish him, and bad mother for not just buying shoes. It was hideous. It was absolutely awful. And for months, I struggled with the platform completely for months after that. It was really not nice. I apologise if there's any comments and I'm not replying. I can't on the screen. I can't see. They pop and disappear.
No, absolutely fine. We've not had any major questions yet. We've had Nikki saying she slept downstairs with one of her greyhounds once in January. That's going back to when Millie wasn't very well. From a carrier bag to a craft room, we all know what that's like, says Laura.
I've got a little bit more now. But yes, so I nearly came off the platform. But from that video, I mean, it's had something like 4-point-something million views now. I still get the occasional comment on that. But there was a lot of followers who were, I assume, bots and things like that. I don't really understand all that a lot. And now if I want to try and monetize my channel or anything, it won't let me because TikTok can see that I've got fake followers on there, which have all come from that video. So I don't love the platform, but I repost anything I put on Instagram as a reel or Facebook. I will repost it on TikTok just to keep the channel going, because I know some people do go over there, and it's a great way to get people over to find me for my other platforms.
And it's nice just to have a bit of crafty stuff on there as well, when people are ticking through all these different effects that are going on at the moment. It's just nice to come across like a little crafty video or something like that, which is brilliant. But of course, I mean, it must take up a lot of your time, and you must be thinking constantly for new content to do. Is this something you ever do you ever struggle with that? Do you ever have those moments like writers have writer's block, singers sometimes they have those moments where they can't find the words? Do you ever get that?
All the time. And I think it's harder when you've got a specific product you absolutely have to use. So sometimes I'm really in the zone. Like today, I really had fun playing, and other times I'll sit there and look at something for hours, and I'll browse. Usually Pinterest is my go-to for that. If I don't know, if I'm doing something with a butterfly, I've got a lot of butterflies in this next collection, I'll just type in butterfly cards and see if I get some inspiration. I'll never usually directly copy anything. But yeah, and I like to just show techniques on my YouTube channel as well, because I think if I show a card, people might watch it and then disappear. But if I show a technique, I'll often get a lot of people commenting about adaptations of that technique, how they would do it, what they suggest, if they found a slightly different way. And it's great then for other people to learn and come along and say, oh, I love this, or no, not for me. But yeah, I just seem to get more interaction when there's a technique than if I just do a project and almost say, right, then you do this and you do this and you do this. There you go.
It's nice to do it that way. And you love mixed media, don't you? I mean, you make the most amazing cards, whether it's a clean, crisp card, but you've got a huge love for mixed media. I guess that's hence your textures and your brand that you've got out. But it's a great style to work with. That's what I call it, because it's so free and easy, isn't it?
It is. I think there's no right or wrong. I mean, I put a post on another platform that I'm on that a lot of crafters won't be on or need to be on, is LinkedIn. And there was a post I put up the other day about basically saying that art in any form cannot be done wrongly. So mixed media in particular, I think because it can be seen as being messy, people think they're doing it incorrectly. But that's just absolutely not the case. And it's, in the eye of the beholder, it's how each one sees it. So, I mean, I love mix. I've got it all on the wall there, lots of bits there you can't see. I absolutely adore the process. And I think if you love the process, you'll love what you make, regardless. And someone else might come along and see the finished piece and think, okay, it's a little bit like a pizza. I think that's what we used to call cards, you know, where people throw everything at it and don't know when to stop. Colours are all crashed and all sorts. Sometimes they can look like that, and other times they can, you know, really, really look stunning. And I think that there isn't a wrong way. If you've enjoyed that process, if you've really enjoyed doing it, then it's worth it. Because 9 times out of 10, you're not going to gift a mixed media project. You're probably going to display it, or I don't know, do anything with it. Usually I just hang mine on my wall, so I can look at them and think, yeah, I shouldn't have done that, or yeah, love that.
Can you turn the camera around so we can see?
Yeah. Hang on, look, twist you round. Yep. Hang on a minute.
Oh, I like the colour.
I've got.
Oh, nice.
Nice. There. So I've got my paintbrush one. I absolutely love these. These are Tim Holtz.
Yes.
That's actually my daughter. So it's not one. That's not one of the. These are paper dolls, and they're little black and white dolls. Okay. Love them. That's a card. So this is a chipboard or MDF tag. Is that close enough? Can you sort of see?
Yeah, I can see a sewing machine there.
Oh yes, gotta have my sewing machine, my blending brushes, and at the top there, this is my most recent. I'll actually get that down because it's. My bum wasn't in there then.
It's fine. Oh, nice. Yeah,
that's the most recent one. That was really, we took 2 lives to do that, and it's all lifted up with cardboard. It's not actually as heavy as it looks.
Yeah.
But it was very different, and it's fun. But some people, like I say, will look at that and go, "Oh no, that's too much." You know, it's not.
I love the colours on it. I love mixed media because it's the way that you can change things. You can take a piece of cardboard and make it look like a piece of metal. You can take something that's shiny and beautiful, you know, whether it's a glass bottle, and you can just rust it up. And I think it's the change, isn't it? It's that metamorphosis of changing something completely. Like this was just a jar, as you can see.
Nice.
But just putting a bit of crackle paste on it.
Love that. My favourite.
I just love it. I love it, and I just keep that. That's just for me, which is brilliant, you know. So I've got a love of mixed media as well, because, like you say, there are no rules.
No, there's no rules, and there's no right or wrong way. People say, "Oh, I don't think I'm doing it right." There isn't a right way. I mean, I will take a medium of any sort and do something completely different with it. So I was putting melted embossing powder through in an embossing folder the other day in a video, and that's another one that's on my YouTube channel, like a technique. And it's just so much fun. And no, that's not what it's made for. It's not what you're supposed to do with it, but it is good fun. And I mean, alcohol inks onto clear packing tape to make your own sort of clear coloured tape. Wash it.
Yeah, just use your imagination, which is fabulous. Now, back in January, you told people not to buy craft supplies, didn't you?
Probably. Probably, yes. Yeah.
And that was to do with some online workshops that you had.
Yes. So we did sorry, I've just knocked my bottle over that was holding my phone. So I'm now back to holding it. Yes. So I took part in a summit, and this was run by Justine Hovey. She runs a summit at least once a year, usually twice a year. And the theme of this one was to use your card making stash. Yeah. So my video there, I don't think anyone can access it now because you had to register for the weekend. It was an online weekend thing. But it was all about using up what you've got. And my video was about sketches and using a card, so the sketch from a card, so the layout, twisting it slightly or flipping it, and then you've got a whole new sketch design grid, however you want to word it. Work to. So that was what my video was about, and I showed how to do that. So yeah, the whole weekend was all about using what you've got and not buying new things. But I think I am actually planning another video, on my YouTube channel soon. It's going to be a long one, so I've got to plan in a whole day to do it, about using things around the house for crafting. So rather than going out and buying new supplies. So I've got loads of ideas. Like I say, I've just got to sit down and get it filmed.
Get it done. Well, I'm sure you'll find the time. We look forward to it as well. When are you launching your new range?
So that is the Botanicals range is launching March 14th, which is next Friday.
Next Friday. Is that going to be on YouTube? Is it going to be Hobby Maker?
It'll be on Craft Stash. I will do a Facebook Live on their channel. I will do a Facebook Live on my channel on Facebook and YouTube, 4 p.m. on Friday. And if anyone's a Craft/VIP member, they'll get an email on the Thursday evening with a link to it early as well.
Fabulous.
So,
Lou, it's been absolutely amazing. You've got to come on another live, because I'm sure there's even more to talk about.
Talked about myself though, so we'll talk about something else.
No, but I think it's great. You know, I think it's brilliant to get to know the crafters, because a lot of the time we see you demonstrating, you're talking about what you've got. And sometimes it's just really nice to know more about you. And I've learned loads tonight, which is brilliant, very inspiring. Right, I'm going to let you get back to your 3 dogs, 3 children, 8 grandchildren, whatever it is.
I haven't got grandchildren yet. Don't put me there yet. Yeah, lots of kids. We're going to go have pancakes now.
Oh, brilliant. What's your favourite topping for a pancake before you go?
Okay, so it's got to be, if you ever went to a Little Chef restaurant, they probably still have the Jubilee pancakes, which is the cherries in the syrup. So my husband, every Patch Drove Tuesday, he'll buy me the tinned cherries in the syrup, and I'll have that with vanilla ice cream. But normally it's lemon and sugar any other day of the year.
And excuse the phrase, but who's the biggest tosser in the house?
Probably my husband.
Okay, we'll leave it at that.
About pancakes. Yes. Right. Still my husband, yeah.
Right, Lou, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much, and good luck next week with the launch.
Thank you.
Come on again and let us know how you get on.
Thank you for having me. Take care.
All right then, Lou. See you later. Bye. Bye. Oh, there's our lovely Lou Collins. Wasn't it amazing to hear all of those different things about what Lou gets up to? Right, okay. Katie is still pedaling, and you've got another about 20 minutes to pedal. If you don't know, Katie in Newport is an avid watcher of Facebook Live with Friends, and she pedals on a bike for the whole time. So it's really good. The longer we talk, the more she pedals. Right, let's get Dawn on. Dawn, if you're watching, select that little icon on the bottom, and we'll get the lovely Dawn Mcafie on, and we'll talk all things folios, and we've got some great discount codes for you. In between though, remember, if you want to go to the NEC, we've got free tickets for you. It's 1 pair of free tickets. Did I do that? I think I did. I think I gave it the thumbs up. So we've got a pair of tickets for a day. There you go. For a day of your choice. So just put NEC in the comments, and I'll get in touch with you, and I will select a winner. I'll let this run tomorrow. So lovely Dawn, if you are watching, there she is. Let's tap on that. Let's approve. Let's send the invitation. Unable to add guests. Let's try that again. Let's see if I can see you. Dawn, let's do that again. Send invitation. Unable to add guests. I told you, it never, always happens on Facebook. Right, Dawn, I'm not sure why. I'm going to take a sip of water though. As we start to get the comments, NEC for those free tickets. Remember, Janice30 is your code to get 30% off. And I'll be there. I've got a stall there with my timestamp creations. I actually did some demoing the other day at Sandown. Oh, it's like a swan, little legs underneath the table. Somebody came up, she said, "Oh, is it demo time?" And I was like, okay. And I just kind of reached for paper, and it was great. It was fantastic. I loved it. So, Dawn, I don't know why I can't get you on, but if you could press the button again or select the icon. You came on earlier and everything was fine. But this is what happens with Facebook. Sometimes everything goes swimmingly, and then sometimes it goes a little bit awkward. So I don't think you're there. Let's go to approve again. I'm sending you the invitation as my stand. It says you can't join. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of you from there, and I'm going to ask you to hang on, unmute. There you go. Dawn, tap on that icon again. It'd be lovely to see you. Right, so in the meantime, whilst we're trying to get Dawn on, yes, Sandown. The craft show at Sandown, along I went, and I was with Janie's Originals, and I'm going to be with Janie Originals at the NEC. I think it's stand A22, so I'll be there and I'll be running around doing interviews and things like that. But I also did some demonstrations live, and I should be doing some demos again live. So let me just try and add our lovely Dawn again. I don't know why it's coming up unable to add you at this time. It's funny like that, Facebook. You're still on the same. If I open up my messenger, Dawn, I should be able to see if you send me a message here. But you're still on your iPhone. I guess you're still on your iPhone and everything's fine. Sometimes Facebook does this. We need to make this work. You know what I'm like. I'll never give up. I'll never give up. Let's just go to that. Let me see if I can find you again. I'm not sure what's going on. Unless you've changed devices, Dawn. You might have changed devices. I'm not sure. It does say request sent. Can you send it again? Send it again. Send it again. In the meantime, let me show you some of the demos that I did at the NEC. So I did that one, and that's using one of my timestamp creation stamps. This is just a time filler. It's what we call filling for time. Whilst we get our lovely Dawn. Press the icon again, Dawn. So that was just using a mop-up, not that finger, I should point with that finger. This was using a mop-up, little sentiment there, and using some of the clarity papers. This is the postcards that I've got. So I just did a little bit of a mop-up. I masked off the areas around the outside. So that looks like a really nice fiery night. And then this was using a selection of masks. That's like the buildings in the background, and then that water technique, and then a mask for the sun. So those are a few of the demos that I did. Oh, I did this one as well. This one was popular. People like that, with the inks just getting that kind of rainbow effect. Right, time filled, time filled. I'm going to send this invitation again, Dawn. I don't know what's going on. Send it again. Adding. So all is good. Time has been filled. Yes, there she is.
We're here.
I never give up, Dawn.
It kept saying it was sent and then nothing was happening.
Oh, it's Facebook for you. But do you know what? Persevere. Never give up. That's the main thing. How are you, my lovely? Thank you for waiting.
Well, thank you. Yes, very well.
What have you been up to, Dawn?
Me, I've been doing
I've seen you for ages.
I know. I've been doing a Facebook Live today for Pink Frog. So I do
okay.
Wednesday there.
How did that go?
That went very well. Yes, we did folios today. We did
Folios.
the size 8 memory folios today. So yes, everyone loves those, which is fabulous.
Good. If for anyone doesn't know what a folio is, what is a folio?
Yeah. So basically, when you look at, say, a mini album, so a mini album will have, let me pick one up just to share with you. So a mini album will have its spine, like a mini book would have a spine, and it will have pages.
Okay.
So you've got pages you turn because you have a hinge. Okay. But with a folio, grab one here. So with a folio, you have a spine, but you don't have hinges. It opens out and opens out.
Got you.
So you don't have pages, you have lots of elements that sort of come out.
Very good.
That is the difference.
That's very good. Lou Sims is watching. She's just asked me a question, actually. She said, how was the craft show and being a demonstrator yourself? Because, you know, I went to Sandown.
I did. I saw the pictures.
Yeah, it was different. I didn't demonstrate the first day, Dawn, because I was too scared. So
you would have been fine.
I just put all my cards out, which was good because people were looking at them. But then the next day, Janie was like, no, come on, you've got to demonstrate. So I put everything around me, and just as I was sitting down thinking, okay, what am I going to do? I looked up and there was like people standing there going, oh, is it demo time? And I was like, okay. Have you ever been in a situation? What was it like for you when you first started demonstrating?
Oh, when I first did my show, it is strange because you go all prepped on what you're going to do. But when you're demonstrating live like that at a show like that, where you've got lots of people milling around, and it's not like TV where you can have your set demo and you know what you're doing. When you're doing a show, people are passing you and coming and going and talking and asking you questions. So it's all very bitting. It's totally different to demonstrating on telly because you've got to answer a question, speak to people, go totally off a tangent of what you're demonstrating sometimes.
And really look like you know what you're doing.
Yes. So all the prep you have before you go, just forget the prep. Just
I
take
know.
the stuff and just play when you're there.
Yeah. That's exactly how to do it, because people just ask you questions. They say, what does this do? What was that? Why have you done it like that? Can you make me this one? And then I feel compelled just to give away my makes, because I was like, okay, off you go. You have that one. You have that one. You go. You can have that one. But no, it's good. When was the first time you demonstrated on TV? How did you get into it?
Oh, how did I get into it? Well, how did I get into doing it? Full stop. Yes.
Yeah.
So I used to run. Well, the scrapbooking class that I help now at is going to be 20 in November, actually, and that was the first scrapbooking class I went to. So my main love was scrapbooking. Didn't make cards. Didn't do cards. And I used to go to the trade show to get cardstock and papers and things like that for kits. And I went along, and it was the lovely Leanne Shivers that said to me, we're having a demonstrator weekend. Come along. We need new demonstrators. I said, I don't make cards. She said, doesn't matter. Come along. Come along. So anyway, I went along, and we had this weekend, and I was picked, and that's where I met the lovely Hazel as well, who I became firm friends with, and we got picked to be demonstrators for Crafters Companion. Wow. So that's where it all started. And then I got asked to do some TV demonstrating. I went first on the original Create and Craft, Scrapberries, and then didn't hear anything from them for months and months and months. And then I got asked to go on Ho-Chandra on their launch weekend with Hazel. So we were there from launch weekend, demonstrating literally a lot.
What was it like the first time on TV? What was it like the first time on TV?
I'd say I was nervous, but I wasn't really. My hands weren't shaking or anything. I think it was afterwards it hit me, because I had Leonie as my guest presenter. And she just made me feel so at ease. You're just sitting there like having a chat like now. Just, having a chat. It was just lovely.
Oh, it's nice though, isn't it? When you do something, you feel out of your comfort zone, and then all of a sudden you do something, you think, do you know what? It's not as bad as I thought.
No, I think it's afterwards it hits you. It's a bit like shock after you've had an accident. It just hits you. I've just done that.
It's like on the drive home. All of a sudden it was like,
what did I do? And it's all live. You can't take it back.
No, you can't.
No,
you can't.
No.
It's out there. But you do a lot of online workshops, don't you?
I do. Yes. So I do online workshops from my website. So the nice thing about those is people can do them in their own time. So when people purchase an online workshop, it's in their account and it stays there.
Okay.
So they don't have to worry about, I've forgotten the password. They just log into their account and it's all held there. And the nice thing is I break the workshops down into easy chunk videos.
Yes.
So rather than filming like a 2-hour video, it's easy chunks.
Okay.
So you get your PDF with it as well. You like cutting and scoring guides. You get the easy videos to just follow step by step. You don't see my face. You just see my hands on the table. So it's just, if you've got an iPad in front of you, my right's your right, my left's your left. So you can follow along with me.
That means nothing to me, Dawn. You know that, because I don't know my right from my left. So I have no idea what that was all about. That was just like, I was like, okay. You need to write on them.
I even have a couple of deaf ladies that follow me.
Okay.
And because it's literally right down on the counter, they can see, and often I'll get a message back, what was that measurement? Or they get their PDF, but yes, they follow. I think the oldest lady I had that used to follow me, I think she's still around, was in America, 93, and she said when she used to shut the curtains at night and she was on her own, she said she'd put me on YouTube and craft along with me, and she said I never felt I was on my own.
Isn't that lovely?
So it is lovely. Yes.
Yes, that is lovely. Now, we've got something special for your online workshops, haven't we, Dawn? Should we tell everybody now rather than leaving it to the end?
Yes, and I should have printed it in mirror, and I haven't, because I've realised my front facing. So I'll hold it up, but it's very easy. Now you've got to see if you can read backwards. So what I've done is, if you go to www.dawnsinspirations.com, you can go to the online workshop section. and you can get 20% off. This is
Yeah.
just for Janice's live.
Yeah.
I'm doing 20% off any of my online workshops, and it expires on Friday. And the
Friday.
code
I'm just,
you need, the
yeah.
code you need to put in at checkout is Janice Live 20.
Right, I'm just seeing if I can write this backwards. If
Oh,
this
right.
works, I'm a genius.
Well, will it show if
Yes,
I do
it's
that?
worked.
Put a light behind it. That, look. Hang on, where's my little light?
That's a good idea.
Where's my little light gone? Hang on.
Janice Live 20.
Yeah.
It took me a while to think about how to do a 2 backwards, but then I did used to use the calculators at school and write boobs and things like that.
Janice Live 20.
There you go. Janice. I'll do what's known in the trade as a crawl. Are you ready?
Go on then.
Hang on, I'll do some music.
Ah.
Do do boo boo do 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 ba 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 do 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 ba da ba. Here comes the effect. Do 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 boo. It's like Pearl and Dean. Ba 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 ba
It
ba
is.
ba 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 ba. Janice 20.
Dear.
Well, that's very kind of you. So
No,
if anybody,
you're welcome.
where do people go
They
to
go to dawnsinspirations.com.
Okay, dawnsinspirations.com, and then they
.com.
can sign up and get how much do they get off? 20%.
20% off any of my online workshops. So it could be off my advent calendar.
Nice.
It could be off the retreat project from last year.
Oh,
off the folio. It could be off anything.
Let's talk about your retreats. So you do retreats
I
where
do.
people actually come along and they can see you in person.
Yes.
And they could.
So I do weekend retreats.
Okay.
So I've been doing. This September will be my 14th year doing scrapbooking retreats.
Wow.
So they run in September, and that's on a Friday afternoon to a Sunday afternoon.
Okay.
So it's totally the whole weekend. As soon as they come through the hotel door, it's your time. And that's it. Just switch off.
And do people stay overnight? Do you organise that?
It's all that's accommodated for. All your accommodation, single occupancy, bedrooms, en suites, all your meals, refreshments apart from the bar are taken care of. All your kits for your classes, all your talk classes, everything. So
that's wonderful. And are you busy on them all? Do you have any spaces?
I've got my album retreat next weekend, so that's full. September, I could probably squeeze a couple more in, but that's it. And then I'm launching in October a brand new retreat. And this is going to be a craft project retreat.
Oh, interesting.
Well, I thought, I'll do an album retreat and I'll do a scrapbook retreat. So let's do something different. So it's like an off the page type project. Yeah. So it's a project retreat, and I've given the people option. They can do a Christmas version or an everyday version. That's as far as I've told them.
And do you organise? What's organise? That's my posh voice. Do you organise this on your own, or does your husband help you?
No, I do it all on my own. I do have a couple of friends that are my sort of wing women, if you like, while we're away. So it's quite nice to have an extra pair of hands if someone's struggling with anything, or just to keep an eye on newbies, because newbie crafters come along on their own and within literally minutes they'll make firm friends that they'll come back to every time. It's just lovely.
Oh, isn't that nice?
And I said,
but it must be a lot of work to do to organise in the first place.
Literally, as soon as one finishes, like already now, I'm looking at the dates for next year. Yeah. So as one finishes, the next one starts, because I do a payment plan so people can pay a bit each month, and then they don't. It's not, oh, I've got to find all that money type thing. By having a little bit each month, it makes it more manageable. Yeah. A private Facebook group for each event, so people can introduce themselves and get to know each other. And what's that name of the group if people want to join? They can't. You can only join if you're coming to the retreat. Really? Yeah. So it's a special club. So it's a special private group. So the scrapbook retreat has their one, and then every year it changes because different people come and go and come along. Oh, that's good. Yeah. So that's good. it, you know, they can sort of say hello to each other and who's meeting for lunch in the hotel before it starts and that type of thing. So yeah.
And do you ever get nervous when you're doing any kind of retreats? Because it's a lot of pressure for you. You've organised it, everybody's turning up, you've got to make sure that, you know, everyone's there, everyone's happy, they're all getting the food they like, they've got the accommodation, and you also have to do the demonstrations as well. So there's a lot of pressure on you for those days.
Well, there's a lot of pressure from the moment I book it,
Yeah.
because I've got to fill the spaces
Yeah.
as well. I always do, like, they have a form they fill in, but I have to take into account their dietary needs, their mobility needs, any health issues at all. I've now started doing emergency phone numbers in case anything was to happen to anybody while they were at the retreat as well. So all those things I have to take into account. I meet with the hotel before the events to go through any dietary needs and health needs that any of the delegates have as well. So all that goes on.
You know, when you go to the hotels, do you do like food tasters like you do at a wedding?
No.
They don't sit you down and bring out every single dish. What do you think to this, Dawn?
No.
And what do you think to that? Oh, what a shame.
They often give me menus to
Yes.
sort of, so I can sort of look through it. But
Yeah.
we always end up eating far too much food when we go to these events. By Sunday afternoon, you're like, oh, I can't eat any more cake.
But it is a responsibility, and it does take a lot of your time.
It does.
So with Create and Craft gone, and everybody running around scrambling and trying to do this and trying to do that, it's been very difficult and hard at times. How's it been for you?
To start with, when it happened, because I kept having my show postponed, I was due to go on the day after.
Yeah.
I kept having my show postponed, so it was very weird. And then when it actually happened, I can only describe it as like a bereavement.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden everything stopped and we were in limbo. We didn't know what was going on because I kept having my show cancelled and then cancelled again, and everything was in limbo, and it did feel just like a bereavement, really. And then I think you get to a stage where you think, right, this is actually happening now.
Yeah.
And there's no going back. It's just not going to happen. And then it takes a while for you to sort of regroup, if you like. Obviously in the meantime I still run scrapbook classes and I do freestyle crops, so I was still doing those, obviously still in the background doing all my prep for retreats and things, so that kept me busy. And then you think, what am I going to do now, you know? So then it's just all the ideas get going again. So I've still got some things in the pipeline that are going to start this year that I haven't done yet. I haven't them.
Can you give us any like little hints what that might be?
Well, during lockdown, obviously because I teach scrapbooking classes, I couldn't teach them in person. So during lockdown I started doing them online. Lots of people have been in touch about the scrapbook classes and they can't always travel to a class. It's a 3-hour class, but they can't always travel to where I am. So I thought, right, I'm going to go back to doing my scrapbook classes online, because when I do them, I do my own page sketches that are done to measurements and everything. And the ladies do 2 layouts a time. So I've got all that resource of like 140 page sketches just sitting in my folder. So I'm thinking I should be using that and sharing that with other crafters that can't come to a class. You know, perhaps they're not as able to travel. I have lots of people in different countries that follow me as well, so it means they can do it. They haven't got to buy a kit because they can use their own supplies. That's another nice thing, because so many people say, I've got so much paper and carton. So it means you can use it, which is great. I'm a real advocate for get the photos off your phones and your cameras and get them down.
Get them printed.
Get them printed. Definitely, I'm a real advocate for that. So that is one thing I want to start again this year. And the other thing I want to do is I do retreats, and I'm thinking of doing a virtual scrapbooking retreat. So doing it over a weekend again for people that can't travel.
Yes.
So they'll get the same classes. We can, join in the same classes through modern technology, which is fabulous.
Yes.
And sort of do it that way. So that's another thing I'm going to be starting.
That's a good. Yeah, got a lot going on.
I have got a lot going on.
You also work closely with Pink Frog Crafts, don't you?
I do. I'm a demonstrator for them. Yes.
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 And you know all kinds of different folds that I mean, when we used to work together, you'd be folding this, folding that, and all of a sudden you'd come up with something that was just absolutely amazing, paper engineering, which was wonderful. But that's a good relationship you've got there. You work well with Andy and the team, don't you?
Yes, I do. Yes. And you're right. Paper engineering. I mean, going to sort of mini albums and folios. That's what I love doing. I love designing and creating and making books, and most of my ideas come at night when I'm in bed. And I have been known, when I've got that idea in my head, I have to literally get up, the craft room's next door, I come in, I'll fold some paper or write something down and then go back to bed, because otherwise I can't sleep. It's just always at night. I don't know why.
Funny, isn't it? The other night I woke up and for some reason, for some reason I had to go online and do some research about the letter J, because I could not remember whether it had to have the line across the top or whether it was just down like that. Do you know what I mean? And it was really bothering me. And I woke up and I was thinking, does a J have to have the line across the top? And for some reason, I had to go and research it. And apparently it does have the line across. That's the proper way of doing a J. There you go. Isn't it funny?
That's it.
The things that come up in the middle of the night.
Exactly.
Things that come up in the morning as well. It's all bizarre.
Yes. Well, it's a bit like last year's album retreat.
Yes.
I'd already got the idea for this one before we'd even had last year's retreat.
Yeah.
So I've had to sit on it for a year.
Gosh.
So, and of course, when the delegates come along to the retreats, they don't know what they're making. They don't know the scrapbook pages they're doing. They don't know the album they're making.
But do you ask them to bring photos?
They do for the scrapbooking retreat. I don't for the album, because they'll have a whole weekend creating. I mean, this was the project we did last year. So you're making a project like this.
Yes.
And then obviously you've got a huge, great album inside it. So
you make that from scratch?
From scratch.
Wow. You see, that's what amazes me.
Yeah, they all do it from scratch. And I always believe even beginners can do it with the right tuition. You can do it.
Yeah.
So all you've got to have is a scoreboard, trimmer, a good bone folder, good glue and cardstock, and you're away. But yes, I just think with minimal, and that's how I started out, with literally a friend of mine said, come on, let's go to the scrapbooking class. I said, what's scrapbooking? And I said, what do I need? She said, oh, it's all right, come on, we'll go to the works. So we went to the works, and I picked up a self-healing mat, a ruler, a craft knife, a pair of scissors, and some glue.
Wow, like the James Bond of craft.
And that's how I started. And now look.
And now look at you. So how do you relax then? Because lots of people use craft as a way of relaxing or helping them. When life gets really tough, sometimes you sit and craft, and then the world's okay. World's okay. So how do you relax? Do you continue just do your own crafting away from any projects that you've got on the go?
I do with my crafting. My husband keeps saying, where will you go? And I can't sit in front of the telly of a night without my lap tray doing something.
Yeah.
I can't sit still. I've got my mind's going all the time.
I
do love my garden. No. I do love my garden.
Yeah.
So when I can get the garden and potter about the garden, I love that.
Yeah.
That relaxes me as well. But I do just love creating and coming up with something new, and that's what I love doing. Yeah.
And you do it so well. So how can people find you, Dawn, if they want to know more about you? Where can they go to see your demonstrations and to find out about you?
Right, so you can go to the website, which is dawnsinspirations.com.
Yes.
Or they can find me on Facebook on dawnsinspirations.com as well. And I've also got a YouTube channel, dawnsinspirations.com.
There's a theme here.
There's a theme here. There is. Well, it's like when I started my YouTube channel, I made a little, it's up there somewhere actually, a little wallet. And I was so pleased I created this. And I went through to my husband and I said, oh, look what I've made. He said, go and film a video and put it on YouTube. He said, you've got a YouTube channel, go and put it on there. So I went, I filmed it, put it on YouTube, and straight away, this lady, Maria from America, I'm still in touch with,
Yeah.
she said, can you do a video tutorial on it, please? I came out and said, she wants a tutorial. And he said, well, go and film one.
I love his reply. Well, go and do it then.
That's how it started. So 24,000 subscribers later.
Wow.
All started.
24 if you had £1 for everyone.
Oh, wouldn't it be lovely?
Well, it'd be lovely, wouldn't it? It certainly would.
Lovely, yes, it would.
Well, that's what. At least we know where we can find you. Yeah. And remember, there's the code. Where is it? Oh, I've closed my book now. Janice. There you go, Janice. But it'll be the other way around.
Yeah.
Janice Live 20. There you go. We can see that.
Yeah.
Good idea about the light. Janice Live 20, and that gets you 20% off any online workshop, and it expires Friday. March the 7th on Friday. Well, that's very kind and generous of you, Dawn. I must say a big thank you.
Off anything, and I wanted to do that because I wanted to give people out there a chance. If you haven't tried an online workshop, if you haven't tried one of my online workshops, give it a go. Yeah. Because once you start, you'll be addicted. They are lovely. But if you go to my website as well, there's lots of different sections. There's a section for free tutorials. So there's lots of little mini albums on there. You don't have to pay for, but again, it's all step-by-step videos. So that's how I like to work, because I feel step-by-step in real time is how people learn.
Yeah, it certainly is. Oh, Dawn, this has been absolutely terrific. We need more time, but I know we've been on here long, so you'll have to come back on again. We'll find something else to talk about, another project, and we'll get you on again if that's okay. But thank you so much for joining us tonight.
And thank you for having me.
That's all right. Oh, and hopefully see you in person very, very soon, somewhere, somehow, on a summer's day or something. Hopefully, or is that how the song goes?
One of these shows these days when I'm not working, doing other stuff.
I think your husband's just put the link in dawninspirations.com. Oh, he's good, isn't he?
Oh, he's good. I've got him trained.
Yeah, you got him trained well. Right, you better go give him some treats.
Yes.
Right. All right, Dawn. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye for now. Bye, everybody.
Take care. And there she goes. Wonderful. Can I say, what a great night it's been. Very inspirational, you know, talking to people who started their crafting careers and just kept on going. And that's what we love, isn't it? Think of an idea and keep on going. Not everything works out, but that's okay, because that's just another stepping stone towards what really is going to work out for you. Trust me, I know that. And I know that because that's kind of how it's going for me since October, when we've been made redundant. You just got to keep putting one foot in front of the other and keep doing the things you love, which is brilliant. So 20% off any workshop for Dawn. That's Janice Live 20. That's the code. You can head to Dawn's website and the link is in the comments. Also, thank you very much to everyone that's come along and watched tonight. Katie, you can finally get off your bike because we're ending now. And if you want to go to the NEC, if you want to go to the crafting show, if you want free tickets, just put NEC in the comments and I'll choose a winner. This will be running tomorrow, so people can keep watching it tomorrow. If you're watching this on YouTube, it means the competition's over, because I always put these onto YouTube a couple of days later. And if you can subscribe to me on YouTube, that'll be fabulous. It's Janice Phillips Live. I need 1,000 viewers so I can go live on my mobile phone. I can go live at the moment, but in order to do it on my phone, on a mobile, which I need to do because if I'm out and about, it always works better. So go and subscribe to that. I'd really appreciate it. Or give me a follow on Janice Phillips Live. Also, if you fancy going and having a look at timestampcreations.com, that's my website. In certain search engines, it has come up as like, oh, what's this website? But Yahoo's fine. If you put the address in the bar, it goes there. And it's timestampcreations.com. So you've got your stamps on there. We've got those lovely postcards as well. It's all my own artwork pictures. Anyway, I thought I'd give myself a little plug. You have to, don't you? Right, thank you so much for watching, everyone. There's not going to be another Facebook Live this week, but there might be a live. That's what I'm saying. So I'll see you very soon. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Bye-bye. Remember, NEC in the comments, and I'll pick a winner. See you later.